Hello, Facebook, and it's good afternoon from myself, and good morning from David. Hello, David.
Good morning.
Right, okay. Now we're both here, and you're watching, and thank you for watching on Facebook. We're just going to check that the feed is live because in 2016, you can't always be entirely sure. So, yes, the feed looks live. I'm going to close it and say we have no conflict and come back here. And what we're going to do today is we're going to do a review of 2016. I'm just going to change the layout, which hopefully will work. That's good. And scroll down to my slides. And the first slide we're going to bring up. I hope they do stop that. It should say video in 2016, and quite a lot's been happening this year, David.
Yes.
And we can just bring up to get us started.
You should put us lower.
Okay, I'll try that.
Layout where we go lower. See if that works.
Okay. So.
Nope, not that one.
No, which one? This is live TV. You mean to the side?
Isn't there one where our two squares can be at the bottom? Or no? Maybe they took that one away. There's that one.
That one. There's that one. You've got the three around the bottom.
Yeah.
You've got three down the side, three across the top. Okay, let's go for we'll experiment while we're here and go for the three. How's that?
Better.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go with that. We'll see what happens when we bring the text on screen.
Sure.
Okay. So our review of 2016, I'm going to go down here. Right. Okay. Our review of 2016 begins with Blub. Your memories of Blub, David?
My memories of Blab. They were. It was fun. It was frustrating. But it made a lot of introductions. It made a lot of introductions possible. Gave us all a taste of a lot of different things that are possible to be used as a platform and a service. And then gave us a very big taste of the fact that none of us mattered.
Well, yeah, that's true. And just to show how far we've come, I'm going to attempt bring a comment from David across, and he says he's testing. So thank you, that test worked, and David's comments worked as well, and that's from Facebook. So if you are on Facebook at the moment, if you type in the comments, we will see it and we'll react to it. And we're just going through a review of the year. We'll start off with Blub. I agree with David. A lot of good things did come out of Blub, and it's where a lot of us met, and it's now part of video chat history. And hopefully will be well remembered for the right things and forgotten for the things that didn't actually go right. Now, what happened after Blub is that we all needed a new home.
Yes.
And that brought in Fire Talk and Huzza.
Yes.
Yeah. Which one did you prefer, or do you prefer?
Huzza was fun. Fire Talk was fun. They were both kind of unique in their own aspect. But because both of them used the service on the back end TalkBox, which is a licensed base and costs money, they had to pay for it. Huzza was an interesting push, but I don't think that I'm not sure who they had. It was two young guys, and they were brilliant. The service had existed before. And it was towards a specific niche. And then when they saw the implosion of Blab happening and people trying to figure out where to go and what to do, they kind of opened it up and reached out and said, "Hey, come play over here."
Yeah.
I think the big issue with that was they introduced us to 6 people on camera, which hardly ever worked because it took up too much resources on pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
So that left us 4 is 3 to 4 is typically the nice good area that you can get a number of people on. But there was issues, and they just didn't seem interested in hearing suggestions or in accepting help from others. And then Fire Talk just decided, which had been around for a long time, and nobody ever used the service. And then when people started using it, it started costing the people at Fire Talk money. And so they decided that they were going to start doing stuff without any kind of notification. They started throwing ads in, which were flash-based and easily omitted. But then they decided that they were going to change what everybody's default package would be.
Yeah, that's true. They did decide to monetize. They kicked everybody off and said, you've only got 10 minutes per day with 10 people watching.
Right.
That was one of the first steps. And then they brought out a series of packages. Now, I looked today, and you can get 2 people on screen broadcasting for 25 hours a month for $15. And I'm not, that's the first time I've seen that offering. If you want 4 people on screen, then it's $40. Don't quote me on these prices, just check them out yourself. But we now have to say that Fire Talk, apart from a few people, is a chargeable platform. But the quality over there is darn good, isn't it? You are getting HD.
No, you are not.
Okay.
At Fire Talk? Is that what you were saying? You were getting HD, yep. Or were you saying Huzza?
No, Fire Talk.
No, Fire Talk was not HD. Fire Talk was 360p.
Right. Okay. I stand corrected.
It might have been 480p at best.
Yeah.
But I think 360p was pretty much what the average was. So I never saw 720p quality ever.
Okay. And I stand corrected. In the case of Huzza, the current situation is that if you're broadcasting on your own, then you can broadcast live to Facebook, and you can have an audience on Facebook, and it's totally free. So Huzza, for free use, is still there, and for paid use, we've got 2 shows on there. Mitch Jackson runs his show, and Social Media Examiner goes out every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and they've been doing it since they went over to Huzza, and they're drawing reasonable audiences.
Right.
Then we had the platform that we're on now, which is Smiletime.
Smiletime was introduced, and it was frown time at the beginning. It was cute, but it was buggy as all get out. This was back in June. It was more headaches than it was really worth, and so for me at least, it got abandoned, and I think for probably a lot of people, they just kind of walked away from it. It had lots of potential. People thought it was neat, but the bugginess was just not there. And then 2 months down the road, they did some major improvements, and won me over, and quite a few other people, and it's become better and more stable, very open. They've openly stated they are not going to charge creators. They've also openly stated other things that some creators have gotten irritated about, like they will not offer screen sharing. But free to creators, it's a creator environment. That's what they want, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some big shows that run out of Smiletime, and they've had audiences in tens of thousands. And hello to Kevin.
Yeah, hi Kevin, hi April, hi Edward was watching on Facebook. I don't know if he still is. And there's
Peter,
a few other people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Smiletime is really, as a free choice, is one of the best choices, and we'll come to alternatives in a moment. But if you're looking to broadcast in 2017, you could do no better than actually come across to Smiletime. And good afternoon, Simon. And shout out to Simon, who's been interviewed a couple of times this year. And we haven't done a Facebook Live yet, so we might do that in 2017. And just to shout out that he has some courses going at the moment. And if you haven't had an email from him, then expect one soon. So thank you, Simon Raybould.
Well, and, you know, I think, Stephen, one of the interesting things that you've got, and you've got it down at the bottom of the list, but a lot of people who have established or are investing in Facebook, one of the things that they really liked about Huzza was that you could go to Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And that kind of became a determining factor for a bunch of people. So one of the benefits from Huzza, from Smiletime, from Blue Jeans, from BeLive, is that they do focus on going to Facebook Live, and they make it easy for people to be able to go to Facebook Live that is from their desktop, and it doesn't require them to have any kind of extra equipment or cameras or software. It doesn't require OBS, Wirecast, or anything of that nature. It's just point, click, and go. Yeah. Which is a good thing. It's very helpful.
Indeed, again, we're coming back to quality, and the quality of Smiletime going through to Facebook is reasonable, isn't it? It's better than better than mobile or a tablet. Well,
and that was another thing, is that the quality was better getting to Facebook Live, because Facebook Live and Facebook themselves, the native app experience was horrible, and it honestly it's better, but it could be better than it is as well.
Right. Okay.
I just wanted to introduce that part of you know, that wasn't something in 2015 that we were looking at.
That's right.
I mean, outside of the app, it wasn't something that we had thought we could do, or like the app Nomadcast, which had been around for a while. Being able to go live from your desktop easily without any kind of additional knowledge or anything of that nature.
Well, it is. I mean, it is so easy to set up on both Smiletime and BeLive and on Blue Jeans to go live on Facebook Live, and it has changed the game, as you say, because that's where the audience is. 1.8 billion users on Facebook, and 20% of them watching video. So that's a potential audience of 360 million. Now, on Smiletime and on BeLive, we've seen audiences in the tens of thousands. In fact, I think Smiletime once reached a larger audience than that. So the capability is there to reach out to an audience. And we'll come back to one of the problems of 2016 in a moment. But I just want to carry on with this run through. Now, one of the things we've talked about Facebook Live, but YouTube Live has changed, hasn't it?
It has. They've made some changes. YouTube Live's been around for a long time, though. It's Hangouts on Air. Essentially, those had the ability to go out through, either use YouTube's engine or had the ability for you to broadcast out through YouTube. And then Hangouts on Air kind of disappeared this year. People decided to shut that portion down and run the engine currently. That there's two ways for you to be able to use Facebook, YouTube Live. Either you can use the quick option, which does still use the Hangouts on Air interface, or you can be more adventurous, use one of the mini apps that are out for iPhones and Android and iPads, or you can use something like YouNow, which I think they still broadcast out to, or offer you the ability to be able to broadcast out to YouTube Live, or use something like OBS or Wirecast, something of that nature. So yeah, YouTube Live, and I'm still a YouTube guy. So out of all of it, I still say it's the best of the breed.
Well, it is the second largest search engine in the world, and if people are looking for you and you're on YouTube, they're going to find you.
Yes.
Simple as that, because they're tying with Google. And again, your YouTube videos will be HD, won't they? If you go direct.
Yes.
Right.
You have the ability to do HD. It takes up a lot of resources. You got to have really good bandwidth.
Okay.
Really solid, and you got to have a very decent machine that can handle it, and the equipment to go along with it, pretty much. So.
Yeah. And when people are watching replays, sound is as important as vision, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's almost more important than the video portion, and in some cases it depends on what you're actually broadcasting. It may be more important than the video itself.
So having a decent microphone is a good idea if you're going to broadcast regularly.
Yes. Getting elevating to the level, not escalating, but elevating to the level. It's kind of a growth process. I don't tell anybody go out, you need to have this, 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 and this in order to do it. The best camera that you have is the one in front of you. The best microphone that you have is the one in front of you. Get started with those, and then you can elevate yourself to that point. But there's no need really to invest money into something that you haven't done before, are unsure of how you're actually going to use it. We all have ideas, but yeah, lighting is another good thing to invest in. Is decent lighting. Make sure that you're lit, or the subject of the video is lit well.
Indeed.
Is at all possible?
Yeah, I've just turned my lighting on after that. I forgot.
Well, and again, it's not something that you have to go invest in. If you're going to do it and you want to go use natural lighting, so you go outside, well, that's fine. There are better times of day to be outside if it's sunny. There are better angles to have the sun at, like don't have it behind you and shadow you out and stuff of that nature. So there's a lot of and again, it's practice. It's just go out and go live and go publish. Right.
And Simon's saying download probs. We'll just have to wait and see on that, Simon. We are reliant on the Facebook for that, and we'll see what happens on the replay. If anybody else is having problems listening to us, could you please say, then we can take a decision. Now, out of nowhere, I'm looking forward to using YouTube a lot in. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Okay. Kevin's just offered to do Twitter Live, which we can come to in a moment. So I'll take you up on that, Kevin. Kevin's in the room as well, so that would be good. Just to finish this run through, now out of nowhere came blue jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is an enterprise solution.
It is a option. I wouldn't call it a solution. The reason I wouldn't call it a solution, it was already an enterprise solution. Yep. It's a way to have mass communication, video, screen sharing, stuff of that nature, for enterprise, large companies, small companies, whatever, that have remote offices or anything. It's basically video conferencing software. And then they added the ability to be able to take that and push it out by incorporating Facebook's API. For video, live video, they added that ability. I say it's an option. It's not a solution to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know people have taken it up. I know two people who are actually broadcasting from Blue Jeans, very high quality, but they don't have the Facebook integration that are on Smiletime or on VLive. Mm-hmm. So that means you've got to have sort of two tabs open if you want to keep track of what's happening on Facebook. Or visit the comment thread afterwards, which sort of means that going out to Facebook Live is a one-way street. You're actually broadcasting as opposed to networking and interacting with people. And just then, Animura told us about BeLive.tv, and that weekend it just took off, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah. Now, for those of you not heard about BeLive TV, it's one or two people on screen talking. it integrates with Facebook comments, so you can see the comments from within the broadcast. You don't have to have the Facebook page up side by side, and it's free to use while in beta. And I suppose the best thing we can say is it just works. It doesn't have the.
It does work. It does still come along with a couple of hiccups every once in a while, but that's why it's in beta, and so it's a very I like it. It works well for certain purposes, but again, it's really only limited to going out to Facebook. So again, no screen sharing.
Yep.
Which, I mean, if I have to say it again, I'm fine. If there's no screen sharing, I'm fine with there not being any screen sharing. I'm fine with whatever a service provides or doesn't provide. I don't get all thrown up in arms and like, well, you know, you should do this or you should do this. I don't work for those companies. I don't own them. Do what it is that you do. I'll make it work for what I need it to work for. And if there's something else that's better, then I'll go work with that.
Yeah. But I love using BeLive for interviews, and for that it works very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just so simple to operate. It's one click and you're actually there live on air. And there's no bells or whistles with it. There's no profiles. There's no nothing. You just go in and say, right, I want an event, and you can either have it then and then, or you can schedule it for later. So I've enjoyed using it over the last couple of months, and it's good to have Simon back with us. Yeah, just to say that if you are watching a video and you start downloading, or even worse, uploading to YouTube, then the reception of the video you're watching is going to falter, because it is reliant on bandwidth, isn't it, David? If you start using that in other ways, you're going to have problems.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened to Simon. This is the thing about live broadcasting. If you're being watched and one person complains there's a problem, then it could be at their end. If you're doing a live broadcast and several people complain, then it's at our end and we accept it, and we can take some actions, but we are limited in what we can do. We're reliant on the technology that takes us out live from this page on the web to Facebook, and I think we've got to say that this year has improved stability-wise. That's my take.
Somewhat. Yeah, I could agree with that. Somewhat. There has been stability provided, but there's still ways to be able to break that stability. It's kind of, you need to learn how, what breaks the platform.
Oh yeah.
And then remember and just kind of accept and go along with the flow as it goes along. Report it, help them out, report the stuff, because even if you think that somebody else may have reported the same thing, it's possible that everybody else is thinking that same thought. So help them out, report it. And then, like I say, go on and figure out. I wouldn't do anything mission critical with any of these services.
No, not yet.
If you have something mission critical, if you are, these are not webinar platforms. Go get an established webinar platform that's out there. Webinar Jam, GoToMeeting, Fuse, whatever you can find. If you have something mission critical, then you need to go do that. But the stability has, yes, I would say the stability is, and the stability, it's a lot of different factors that have to come into play. And it's still going to take a while for that stability to be there. We're all very used to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And receiving, we're used to going to YouTube now, click and play, watching it uninterrupted, barely buffers, if it buffers at all. I mean, it's kind of like watching television. And what people fail to remember is that YouTube did not start out that way. They were not that way 5 years ago. It's a progressive growth of a peering network that they have built. Well, when you have services like WebRTC and Smiletime and BeLive and Facebook and all these other services, they do not have the peering network established that a YouTube does for you to watch a YouTube video. And that is one of the reasons I tell people that you always need to plan for the replay, so that you can get it up on a YouTube or a Vimeo or wherever you want to put it, and have people be able to watch it. And the other reason is because it's live. Our lives are busy. We don't always have time to stop 10, 15 minutes as we're walking down the road and listen. Plus it eats up our bandwidth and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, indeed, I agree totally. Go for the replay, because the content, we're actually creating content, and we used to do blogging and writing blog posts and pushing them out on Twitter and Facebook and getting an audience that way. Live video is a great way to make connections and get involved with your audience. Now, the latest appearance on the live video front, I'm going to bring Kevin in. Hopefully, Kevin can join us, and he's going to talk about the latest entrant, which is Twitter. Now, all I can see is the dots. Hello, Kevin.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you, and
awesome.
We can see you.
Good.
So,
how are you guys? You all right?
Yep, we're fine. Right, so how have you found Twitter Live in the last week or so?
Well, since we last spoke, which I believe was on this show last week, and I said to you, yeah, it's just gone live and we're going to try it out. Well, it disappeared on me for 4 days. The button disappeared, as they tend to do. So that was rather frustrating. Then I noticed yesterday it came back.
Right. Okay.
So that was quite cool. Now, the thing that I noticed with it, there's a couple of things. Obviously, it runs through the Periscope app.
Yeah.
So you need a Periscope account.
Mm-hmm.
If you've already got a Periscope account, what it will do is it will take you, when you go live, it will take you to a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
And it will just leave you hanging. So you have to come back out, go back into Twitter, and then it'll go, yeah, you can go live. So it's not quite hooking up properly just yet. The experience of going live is really easy though, because it's almost like using Periscope all over again, but going through Twitter. So it's the same thing. You can see the hearts on there because obviously it streams to both.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not quite sure whether they're coming from Periscope or whether they're coming from Twitter.
Right. Now, what's the sort of audience you're reaching out to? Because you're reaching out to your Twitter followers, aren't you, as well as your Periscope followers? Yeah,
well, they've got some statistics. I've just noticed. I was just looking at it because one of the good things about this is, firstly, I don't know if you remember how it was before, but what it used to do was when you used to share a Periscope on Twitter, it used to give you an iffy-looking link or a very small video with your title next to it. Well, now it gives you a full of the video, so a nice size bit of video on there, which I think is great, and it keeps the replay the same size as well. So that for me is a big plus. I don't know if that's just Twitter or whether going through Periscope will do that as well, but it's certainly done that for me today, so that was great. So I pinned that up to the top of my profile, so it's been up there for 2 hours. Just what I can get from it. Now, I've not been on Periscope for, I think, twice this year. Okay. So I did everything you shouldn't do, which is I just went live on any random topic and didn't tell anybody. So I was lucky anybody turned up, to be fair. However, what it has done is it's given me a breakdown of the Twitter aspects to that live stream.
Okay.
So it's told me it's had 39 impressions. It's told me it's had 7 engagements. I don't know what that means. It's told me it's been retweeted, liked, blah, 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 all that stuff. And it's also told me there's been some media views.
Of the replay?
Of the replay.
Yeah.
So I think it's, at the moment, it's looking promising.
Okay.
Is the honest answer. And if you sort of gave up with Periscope, because to be fair, the Periscope audience were, I think for UK based people, I think was difficult. I think it's fair to say. I did it for a year. We were one of the early adopters, as you know, and it was difficult. And towards the end of last year, it became more and more difficult. And yeah, they've upped their game hugely, but I think the switch round, if you've got a good Twitter audience, I think this will make a big difference.
Right.
I think that's where I'm heading with this.
Yeah. So you've got to have a good Twitter following. So it's going to make part of your 2017 video mix.
I think it will. I'm not sure it's going to be a tool to massively build a following.
Yeah.
I'm unsure on that one yet, but what it certainly will do, just like any of these things, is it will increase the engagement with the followers you've currently got. So they'll get to know you more, because Twitter's a real cold platform.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
in terms
you
of
can't say much in 160 characters where they get to know you, really. And let's be honest, the only conversations people generally have on there is talking about Coronation Street, moaning about politics, or who's lost their cat. So the conversations aren't particularly great, I don't find. So we've always used it as a big traffic driver. So we engage with people on Twitter, take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we tend to take them back to our site, and that works brilliantly for us. I think now, being able to speak to these people via that platform, I think we'll get more people going back to our site now.
Good. Right. Okay, so that's something to look forward to. And part of the video.
I think it's worth a go.
Brilliant. Right, well, stay with us, Kevin. I'm just going to, hopefully, this will be painless. I'll just move you there, all right? And we'll come on to basically the problems with live video in the past 12 months. And there are two main ones that I've picked up on, David: reliability and video quality. Yep. David?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking with Kevin about it.
No, I'm moving things around. So, I mean, reliability has been a problem, hasn't it?
Reliability has been a problem, yes, and will continue to be a problem because there are too many factors that go into it that are outside of people's control. You can make sure that you've got the best wireless router or router, and that you've got a good camera, and that you've got a decent system, and you're not uploading and downloading to Dropbox and Google Drive and all that type of stuff. But you cannot control the internet. You cannot control the service that you are using to stream live. So you don't control Facebook or Smiletime or BeLive or Blue Jeans or any of that. You do not control the internet that's going from them back to whoever's viewing. So there's a lot of factors that come into it. And again, that's why I say nothing ever mission critical needs to be used in this fashion at this time, because there are too many outside influences.
And then with Kevin, what do you feel about reliability?
I think the problem is, I don't think it matters really how we go with the live streaming. I think there's always going to be some form of reliability issue. And right. I don't think it matters how big they get, how established they become as a provider. I think there's always going to be glitches, because they have it. Let's be honest, they have it on live TV. They're multi-billion-pound organisations, so you're going to have it when we're doing it on the internet for sure. So I don't think you'll ever have a 100% guaranteed stable platform.
Right. Okay.
And then, of course, you have the other side to it. Yep. Is often people blame the platform when their connectivity is poor. So if they can't get on and watch you live, and they go, oh, it keeps crashing, it keeps freezing, I can't see it, blah, 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 it's not always the platform's fault.
True.
It's their 4G or their internet. So there'll always be that element of where, which bit isn't the reliable bit.
Right, okay, let's move away from problems, look at the benefits of live video in 2016. And I think the one that Dave and I would agree on, but yourself as well, Kevin, is networking. It's helped networking, get people getting to know people. Because that's basically...
Yes, I can agree with video, period, helps in building a relationship and building trust, because we get not only to hear and hear the individual and see what it is that they're talking about, but we also get to see them as they interact. Live video helps a whole bunch, because a lot of people, it takes away the scripted portion of it, and if you are scripted and robotic, then people can tell. So a lot of people just go, we get a kind of a candid view, a raw view of individuals as they go on.
Yeah. And the other highlights of the year, Facebook Live, we've already talked about, and Kevin's talked about Twitter Live. And for me personally, one of the major changes has been live interviews, and that's on Smiletime and BeLive.tv, getting good audiences. And then the Facebook integrations which have taken place have made life a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
So we can all, I'm trying to get the right layout here. I'm thinking about, go, right, okay, now, okay, time to bring up the next card. I'll move myself up there, that worked. And I think if we all go on to our wish list for 2017, and the top of my list is improved reliability and a dream. And Debbie's going to tell me this one will happen on YouTube, but nowhere else, because it's high on resources, high definition video. And I think what needs to happen in 2017 as well is improved show promotion. No matter where you're broadcasting from, people have got to be able to find you, and we've got to find ways of actually increasing the wonderful word discoverability. And what I'm hoping too is that there'll be greater adoption of video in 2017, so that we see more people broadcasting. And that's where, just a minute, quick advert. That's where, just a minute, that's where live video streaming 2017 comes in, which is a Facebook group, which you're all invited to join, where you find David, myself, and Kevin. And if you need any help in live video in 2017, then that's the place to go to get help on any aspect of live video, from people willing to help you co-host the show or interview you, or just tell you basically how it's done, how to get on BeLive, how to get on Smiletime. We're all there to help. And it's a community which started 2 weeks ago, and we're enjoying being in there and promoting each other's live videos. Promoted Krishna's show last night, and that went very well. So, your own personal wish list for 2017, David?
I don't know that I really have one. HD video is going to be really hard to accomplish. I mean, even with YouTube, when you upload a video immediately after it's done processing, you don't get the HD version. You get a 360p version, and that's because it takes extra time to transcode for HD and push that out. One of the other issues that can happen with HD, and plenty of people can attest to this, because if they've ever used Hangouts on Air to watch or to broadcast, is delay. Mm-hmm. And the massive delay that would happen with Hangouts on Air. And the reason a lot of people don't understand that the delay happened was because of HD. And it was actually because even though you're just broadcasting out, YouTube then takes it and actually breaks it up into as many different streams as they can, so that whoever's watching, wherever they're watching in the world, based on the device, based on the network that they do or do not have. I mean, LTE is not a readily available service to the majority of the world. They're still on 3G. So they can't watch it in HD. They may need to see it in 144 or 260 or 360 or something of that nature. So HD is going to be difficult to do. And for most stuff, I don't think HD is actually really necessary. unless you're really showing something that needs the clarity of HD. And then it's still only 720p. It's not 4K. It's not 1080p. My wish list is just to see more uniqueness done with live video. Don't do the same thing that you do everywhere else, and just do it live. And don't try and be a morning television show, you know, or Dr. Phil or Oprah or something. Be what your community wants. Provide what they want. And it's not to say that you can't do certain things like that. It's just I would like to see more uniqueness. Personally, that's my wish list. For everybody else to go live, ask questions, and just go live.
Definitely. And Kevin,
what would be my wish list?
Yep.
I would like to see more presenters interacting with their audience. I see a huge amount of shows where the presenter ignores people on their stream. And I think that does them no favours. I think it actually does more harm than good. And I'd like them to feel more comfortable. I suppose what it is them becoming more confident and comfortable as a presenter, where they can just ad hoc it with their audience. Yeah. So I'd like to see more of that. From the tech side of stuff, I don't think there'll be a lot more. I don't think we need a lot more. You know, I think the setups that are out there are pretty good, to be fair. I mean, we've been on here and, you know, this is working great.
Yeah.
A year ago, everyone was wondering, how are we ever going to do a Facebook Live via a desktop? It was all link this up, hook that up, blah, blah, blah. It was a nightmare. And now it's simple. And currently this one is free. So I think the last 12 months has shown us the ones and the direction they're going in for the live streaming. I'm not sure there's going to be a huge amount of new ones coming out next year. I think these will evolve. And I think for next year it will be, I think, and I don't want to see it, but I think it will happen. I think we'll start seeing advertising coming in.
Yeah. I think that if anybody can monetize it, they will do. I mean, the moment when you're on Facebook and you're watching on Facebook, then you're getting served ads, and the ads are being served alongside the video, and that's the fact of life. I mean, that's the price that we pay for free. But it is where the people we want to network with are, and Facebook. The fact that we can now go on Facebook and people can see it and watch us and we can interact is, I suppose, the biggest step forward in 2016. Okay. David, yes.
Apparently, Stephen wants time jumping. So
well, it would be good. It would be good, but it's not going to happen. I think we've got to keep our feet on the ground and say that the Facebook Live has been the biggest step forward of the year. And I'll go with Kevin that the services are going to stabilise, and I'll go with David that we have to be more inventive on creating the content, because basically we're actually entertaining or informing, and if you're not doing either of those, then we need a good reason to live stream, and entertaining and informing is the way it should be, and networking as well. I mean, the three of us are all great networkers, reaching out to people, helping people, and that's what I'd like to see more of in 2017, which is next year, is people interacting and just commenting and getting involved. And we want to see more people on live video. And if you want to go on live video, then just go on Facebook, search for LVS17, and that hashtag will take you straight to the Facebook group that we're all members of, and where you can get help in 2017. Well, time's flown again.
It has.
I would like, just one more thing I would like to put on that list for next year, and this is specific to Smiletime.
Yep.
One of the features that I really liked about Blab, and no other platform as far as I've seen yet does this, is the interaction in the chat. On Blab, we used to be able to click on someone's name and we could go and follow them.
Yep.
We could click on them and reply to them, so we can have a conversation going on in the sidebar in the chat.
Yep.
You can't do that here.
No, but they have a very large list of stuff that they've taken note of. And they are working on a very large community update for Smiletime. The priority for Smiletime is they're working to improve the mobile app because it's a horrible experience, really. It's compared to getting on the desktop. Once they get that out, then there is going to be a large community update, discoverability, interaction with others in the group. That are actually watching on Smiletime in the Smiletime channel and stuff. Those types of things are promised to come. It's just they were on a roll. They brought in the introduction of integrating the Facebook comments so that those that are on the creators that are broadcasting don't have to look in two places. And then the mobile app experience, but that's development. Development just takes time.
But this was one of the ways that Blab grew their viewers on each show, I think, so quickly. Because people would come onto a show like this and Stephen would say to me, Kevin, well, what do you present? When do you go off and do your bit? And he'd go, yeah, I do a show on a Monday. If you follow me, you'll get notified. And they could go, yeah.
If people click on your avatar now, if you're in Smiletime, they can follow you now. That has been there.
Oh, that's there now, is it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you can click on anybody. So if you wanted to follow Gail, just click on Gail's avatar and click follow. Cool. And you get notifications for when Gail goes up. But they're going to take it to like the next levels. It's like, okay, I follow Gail or I follow Kevin. I like what Kevin says, but I might like what Kevin else, maybe Kevin goes into other people's Smilecasts that I haven't been in. And I'm online on Smiletime. What's Kevin doing? Oh, Kevin's over here. That type of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that got introduced with Blab and with some other ones, and those suggestions were brought forward to the Smiletime people, and they are working on those. But again, the mobile app experience has got to be the next step that they do, because we are a mobile environment. And if the mobile app experience is not good, then we are only, really helping less than really half of the people out there. Yeah. And so that's their thing. But yeah, you can do that now. You can actually follow people on Smiletime. Now, if you click on, if they're they're annotated with a Facebook and you click on them, then no, you can't follow them because they're just simply, it's just bringing that portion in. So, but another thing that we need to understand, and this is one thing that's really important that people need to appreciate about the fact that Blab is no longer around. Every time Blab introduced something fun or unique or new or took a suggestion and did it, they broke 5 other things. And the problem was we didn't discover what they were immediately. And in the time between when it was introduced and whatever it broke and finally discovered, they probably did 3 or 4 different revisions to Blab itself, the core understructure stuff we didn't even know about. And so all of a sudden people were like, well, let's just go back to when it was this. Well, the problem is you can't do that because you've been so many revisions up that you may break something different, and it's just kind of a forward momentum. It's kind of like, and hey, Coach Jenny, I see you here. Coach Jenny was like, I loved Blab pre-November 2015. That's what I want to see. It's like, well, we can't reset because there was so much there. And that's what a lot of people need to understand, is that, yes, we got introduced to a lot of neat stuff with Blab, but, one, where's Blab now? They're gone. And 2, they broke a lot of stuff. And the reason being, it was because they were playing around too. And we were just all in their sandbox. And then when we found out we didn't matter, we got upset.
Yeah, companies like Smiletime though, because they can go off and test it, break it, and end up shutting it down. And Smiletime can take all their good ideas and go, yeah, let's run with that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true. And the other thing is that Smiletime and to a certain extent BeLive.tv have got their own roadmap for what they're going to do. And we can make suggestions, but their development roadmap is fixed. And they know what they're going to release by what date. And occasionally they will preempt themselves and say, this will be out next week, and it isn't. But they are not, they're taking note of what we say, but it's not affecting their rollout dates. I think that's very important, that they stay in control of what happens. We make the requests and then they schedule them in. And Jenny's just explaining something which I think I should read out. That's why we should stop asking platforms for so many changes. These platforms, that the platforms build out their sandboxes they like, see fit. That's very, we'd all agree with that, I think. No problem with that at all. And we want to see gradual introduction of things that they know that work. And David, you're one of the beta testers on the
I am.
App.
I am. And they, in fact, they're, you know, Smiletime, their roadmap is that they are going to test it, beta test it vigorously internally before they even release it to anybody externally to beta test before they release it to everybody in the wild. So, you know, they do have, because they are not playing around. Their goal, or one of their goals is to get more entertainment done with their platform, which is fine. But they're going after some big names. I mean, these people are regularly talking to a lot of people that have money and don't have a lot of time. And if you waste their time with something that breaks and doesn't work, you're not going to get another option. So that, you know, they've got a lot of stuff. But, you know, one of the important things is that, again, these are all their sandboxes and we're playing in them. And if they decide tomorrow to sit there and say, we're done, or we're changing this, you need to make accommodations before that happens. Yeah. And I still see way too many people who don't do that. Build your list, get a list, get people on your list, get them into your own sandbox that you control, the conversation you control, because you don't control anything social ever. They don't care about you. Honestly, they really, really don't. Mark Zuckerberg could give two flips about anybody except Sheryl Sandberg.
You give two flips. That's better than something that we could say about certain occasions that have happened this year. Yeah, I mean, the situation is, as David rightly said, if you're going to do this and you do it with a purpose, you should be building a list. And Kevin builds lists through blogging and now through Twitter and Periscope next year. Because you need to be, and my advice on this would be, don't tie yourself to just the one platform. If you're going to be on live video, you need to be on at least two platforms and have knowledge of two platforms, so that if one of them does flip to the dark side, then you can just switch over. So get used to two platforms, use your favorite one, but have a second one in reserve. And we have a wish from Roy, again, which I'll read out. Oh, I can't read from over there. All for Christmas is that Smiletime have the same or similar text box with a larger size and a bigger photo, so we can see the content provider's face better. Well, we've had this. What's your thoughts on them going four up on screen, David?
Do what?
I'm going 4 people on screen, equal boxes. Do you think that will happen or not?
Oh, I don't know. They have been asked and requested of that. I don't know if we'll see that come about or not. Again, you know, the one thing I do like about Smiletime is that they stick to their guns pretty well. They are for one certain, you know, they want one certain type of, maybe it's not that they want, it's maybe they know what they don't want. And you know, if you want to try and make it work for it, and so I'm going to say the word marketing, selling, you know, if you want to try and make this platform work, like it's possible to do, like Stephen did with slides and pictures and stuff of that nature, you can do that type of stuff. But I don't know if they're going to do that or not. So, and I don't work for Smiletime. I don't work for Be Live. So don't come to me. Roy, my suggestion to you would be send it to creators@smiletime.com. Send your request. And my other suggestion, Roy, would be if you're not broadcasting on the platform, don't send anything, because that's kind of stupid. That's like going by Target that you never walk in and saying, gee, I wish your prices were like Walmart. Target doesn't care. You're not a patron of their services. That would be my other suggestion. But again, those opinions are my own, not of anybody else's.
Okay, so Kevin, we've talked about that you're going to be using Twitter in 2017. What other platforms do you see yourself using?
Well, I do a lot of the Facebook Lives via the app at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using Smiletime next year. I've been toying around which one I'm going to use, whether it's this or Be Live, but I'm not overly fond of Be Live. So I'm going to be heading on to Smiletime. So we'll see how that works out. And that will be it for me. And obviously the Twitter Live I will do, but they will be less frequent.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Kevin. Sorry, right.
That's all right.
Stephen's turn.
Thank you very much, David. Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm going to continue using Be Live and Smiletime as my two main platforms, but I am looking forward to, with help from David and from Eileen, to getting more involved in YouTube in 2017, because there is an audience there, and it's, for me, some uncharted territory. So it's a challenge, something new to try out. You said earlier, Kevin, we don't know what's coming platform-wise in 2017. So we can play with and concentrate on what we know, which is the platforms that we cycled through earlier. And YouTube is one of those, a part of the mix, and a very large audience. So that's it. Now, if you are watching and you have any questions for David or Kevin or myself, then please make them. And the point being made at the moment is...
can I bring up something about YouTube Live real quick before, because I know we're approaching the time and we need to go.
Yeah.
I had a conversation the other day because somebody knows that I am a YouTube person. I love YouTube and I will be a YouTube person until something comes along definitely that can replace it, which I don't see for a while. And they were talking to me about YouTube Live and the mobile experience of going YouTube Live. And back in May, we were introduced to rumors that you'd be able to go live from the native YouTube app, and then in July they had I don't even remember what the event was, but I think it was 6 different big YouTube accounts that got access to be able to go live from YouTube, and then it's been kind of quiet since then. And in fact, it's been deafening. And somebody was like, well, they need to get on board. And the funny thing is, no, they don't.
Okay.
Because while everybody's like, well, YouTube's going to get left behind, they haven't, and they won't, because they're the platform that has the presence and the ability and the stamina to outlast. Where do we upload our videos? We upload them to YouTube. Why do we upload them to YouTube? 1, because it's easy. 2, because it's good SEO and it's easy SEO and all these different things. And they are doing the exact same thing that I said they were doing with the mobile live experience that they were doing way back when. They're trying to see what everybody else is doing, what works, what doesn't work, who's using it. And for all the business marketing people out there that says, oh, it's the next greatest, biggest thing, go log into Facebook and go click on the live button over on the left-hand side and go look at the majority of streams that are out there at the time, and do it at any point of the day. Most of them are BS. It's somebody sitting there broadcasting something, they're smoking something, cursing about something, talking about something that's irrelevant to pretty much everybody, all these different types of things. And the reason being is that it's still so damn new.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what we're doing. And the person that sat there, and I'm not going to call him out, but the one that sat there and said that, by 2018, now that's 12 months away, pretty much. you know, this will be the, you know, we will be in the mainstream of live video. No, we won't, because it's going to take a lot longer than 12 months for the adoption rate to pick up. There's just no way. It's not going to happen before that time. And that's what YouTube's doing. Just what do we all look forward to do after we get done with a live video? Upload it to YouTube. Why? So people can watch the replay. So, you know, just don't discount YouTube, because they are the second largest search engine, and it's going to take a long time for Amazon to catch up.
I agree with the sentiments there, which is why I want to go out and explore. And just to come back for a moment to Fight Talk, which I mentioned earlier. Remember, Fight Talk is still open for business. If you've got a profile there, you can upload your YouTube playlist and promote it from there, and people will see it. I've got quite a few views.
Only if you pay.
Well,
I cannot do it.
Right.
You have to pay Fire Talk to be able to do that. You have to be on one of the paid. You can't be on the free account because they took it away from me. Of course, I haven't been in Fire Talk in 4 or 5 months, so that could have changed too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. I think, yes, you could, if you paid, go on Fire Talk and promote it to YouTube list. Right, Kevin. Final thoughts on 2016?
Final thoughts. I think it's been a great year. I think for live video, I think it's brilliant. I think we've all learned a load, and I think it's exciting going into the next year.
I agree.
David agrees.
I agree. Couldn't say it better. I think we've learned. I think more people know what API, have heard API and use API. You may not know what it means. Let's see, what else? Download, upload, refresh. I mean, there's just a slew of words over the last 12 to 15 months that have become more normal in our vocabulary than we ever thought.
Indeed. Right. Well, we're coming up to we're over the hour, so I'm going to take this opportunity for everybody who's watched the shows this year, especially, you know, the ones on Facebook and the ones everywhere. I'd just like to say thank you and send you season's greetings, and look forward to this. Is the last scheduled broadcast. Doesn't mean there won't be any more this year, but it's my last scheduled broadcast. So I'd just like to say season's greeting, Merry Christmas to everyone, and may you have a happy and prosperous new year. And as I've done that, I'd like to give the opportunity to Kevin to send out his greetings. Possibly.
Sorry, I was miles away.
I know. We should that. Okay, would you like to wish everybody a prosperous new year?
Yeah, for everyone that celebrates the holiday season and those that don't but are still having some time away, you know, enjoy whatever you're spending time doing, and we'll catch you all in the new year.
And David.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, and we'll see you between now and then, unless you're going to Germany and you're going to abandon us for 2 weeks. And that's only Stephen that I know of. So
I am taking a 2-week break. So for everybody who's watched today, thank you very much. We've really enjoyed being live on air in 2016. We look forward to repeating that in 2017. So it's goodbye from all of us. Take care and see you soon.
Bye. Bye.
And we are now theoretically offline. But I'll just talk over for a second or two in case we aren't.